All right, we're live. What's up? Uh, I'm here with the Black Knight,
Hello, hello.
and we're just gonna hang out tonight. Um, so you've been working on what is it you were working on? A book, right?
Multiple books,
Multiple books. Yeah. Okay.
many.
Okay. Um, yeah. Shatterstar that's yours, right?
Star Shatter,
Star
the
Shatter.
Star
Okay,
Shatter
I'm sorry.
series.
Sorry. Yes, Star Shatter, and you're also running a D&D game for Royce and them.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a tabletop which is based on the series, um, just like many others
Mm-hmm.
do. Like, let's say, uh, you want to run a D&D game or uh, another tabletop system
Mm-hmm.
based on, let's say, the aliens universe or something else, maybe uh, Tolkien's Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
anything. So yeah, you do some modifications, you build a campaign, and you know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's yeah.
I DM twice a week, so
I know
yeah.
you told me.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's been like a lot of. It took me a lot of time to write the drafts for the book series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, s- More than 10 years, to be exact.
Wow.
That took a lot of research, but after I published the first two, it's been um, it's been a wild ride in the last 2 years, let's say three, and basically starting from zero, from scratch, because originally the books were not, like, the drafts were not in English, and I had to study myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I can translate everything in English, and then it's so, some things are lost in translation, other
Right,
things you can't even translate them, like
right.
let's say different cultural things, like sayings, etc., etc. It's like it's a whole new um, bag of problems. You reach down, and you kind of pull up something, like it's almost like um, a dice bag, and you pull something, and instead of a dice, you pull another problem. You pull something else, like, which you never even imagined that is inside. So
Right, right. Yeah. I've been working on my own book here a little bit, trying to get it done. But I've been playing D&D and tabletop RPGs for years. I mean, since I was a teenager, and yeah, it's a lot of work to put into both. I wasn't expecting like the comic book to be you know how it is. Like to even
oh, it's really hard. I spoke to two other indies who are doing comic books, and it's like, wow, it's so hard.
I've got the story for mine. I don't have an artist. That is my problem right now. Is I don't have an artist. So
Yeah, I think, meh, there are plenty of indie artists out there. You might be surprised.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I've got a specific like design I'm wanting for it, so I'm having to vet a lot more than I had to go
what kind of feel you're looking for?
noir. It's a
Ooh,
yeah, it's a noir one. What it is, it's a superhero game. I'm not game. It's a superhero story
comic. Yeah.
comic that takes place in like 1920s mafia setting,
Ooh.
which is before superheroes actually existed in like our world. That's before superheroes existed. So, what would the superheroes be in a world where they don't have anything to go by, right? So that's kind of the idea here.
That's a cool premise.
And
Nice.
yeah, I've been using AI art to kind of do the concept art for it, but other than that, it's just been
Yeah. You'll need like a proper artist.
oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be able to generate the entire book like that, and it wouldn't look right anyway because I need somebody who can draw hands.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Hands, noses, eyes, eyelids,
yes, yes. Like
etc., etc.
AI can draw some pretty art, but it takes forever to generate one good image, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's almost not even worth it.
right. It's
Maybe in like many years down the line
mhm,
when we have like a new type of AI, uh, maybe then.
mhm.
But right now, no.
Yeah, no, it's right now it's good for concept art.
Yeah, maybe something quick to complement your post, social media post, like
Mhm.
maybe for how some of the guys are using it for like concept art for poetry, let's say,
Mhm.
or memes or something else like that's something that you could readily use it for. But serious stuff like comic books and cover
No.
art is like nah.
Like you can use it to generate a single panel maybe. I have
Mhm.
seen it do that, be able to generate a single panel, and then you can take it out and heavily edit it in Photoshop. But if you don't, it doesn't look right anyway. It's one of those where it just
Yeah, yeah, it's too many like crooked stuff and errors and such. It's like
right.
it's not okay. By the way, I think I send you the link, one of the links in
Yes,
private chat.
I posted it there. Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
There we go.
give
There
me
we
a
go.
second.
Yeah, there we go.
And I have a few more. Let's see.
Yeah, just
Because I've already published 7 out of 10,
wow.
and I'm working on number 8, which is close to the 50% um, mark.
Very cool.
And oh yeah, it's I'm blessed to have found discovered all of my fans, my readers who supported me, um, and some of them quite selflessly, by the way, because they like the fact that it's not that usual, you know, walk stuff and unimaginative
Right.
Hollywood crap with token characters. It's like, yeah, we have to have this character because we're ticking the boxes and blah blah blah. It's like no, no, and of course it lacks their usual hypocrisy and then the forced diversity. It's like, yeah, look at us guys, we have uh, this person and it represents this group, and look at us, we're virtuous. Like, Yay!
Right. Hell, do me a favor and save that link. We're gonna add it to our normal, the normal links that we post during the videos. I was talking to my mod there. We're gonna save your Amazon link there, and we're gonna post it in all of our videos. Help you out.
See a few of the Iron Angels here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who we got in the chat? I saw Kikomon earlier.
Oh
he said he had to run.
He said like he has to do some stuff.
Right.
And we have John A. Douglas, who is another Iron Ninja and YouTuber.
Right.
And Chris M., who has already finished my second Star Shutter book, Twin Sons of Carol. And he's also done a few other reviews on his channel. So also Johnny Douglas, he got just today, I think he sent me a picture that he got my novella, my newest novella, which is the Rifle Song. It's titled The Rifle Song. And he just got it together with another book. I think Atomic Beasts and Where to Kill Them by Rob Rhymes. It's the second book of his Barbarians of the Storm series.
Very cool. What's up, John? I actually had jumped the gun and tried to just create an Indiegogo ahead of time, and it ended up kind of backfiring on me doing it that way. But here's the link to my project there. What's up? Oh, I'm an Iron Ager too. Hello, Kira. You are new to the chat. Hello.
That's another one of my big fans and readers.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I dropped my link. Do not support it there, guys. The book is not done. I'm just kind of just showing it to you guys if you want to see it. Don't put any money there. That one has failed already. So just letting y'all know. Don't donate on that, because my artist fell through on me. Like,
yeah, that's why you mentioned.
Yeah, my artist fell through on me, and my cover artist is expensive. Let's just say that he is very expensive, because I'm not using traditional comic book art on it. I want to have my covers be paintings.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
But yeah, do not support my Indiegogo link. Don't do it. Just being honest with y'all, I don't want to have to issue a bunch of refunds. So when this thing fails. So, but yeah, that's mine. If you want to take a look at some of the concept art I have for it, I'll do a second chance campaign later. But there's some pretty good concept art on there that I AI generated. My art style is very anime-ish, so I can't draw in an American style or a Western style at all. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm probably the only Indiegogo guy who will say don't support my stuff, right? Just because, like I said, 17 days to go, I've got $80, and like I said, my artist fell through on me. But yeah, so I'm also a cosplayer, and I'm always looking for stuff to cosplay. So I'm definitely going to check out your stuff there. I don't know how this thing works, how StreamYards works to pull up links and stuff. So I don't have my. I guess that's it. Nope. I'll just make it worse. There we go. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how StreamYards works, so I'll have to figure that out. um,
Let's say it's in the Star Shutter universe, the book universe. It's populated by different sapient races and like uplifted species. So and of course lots of humanoid species, which is let's say that it's similar to what the guys and gals who did the old Star Trek shows were like the doing with makeup and what the modern cosplayers are doing.
right.
You know, the ears and like forehead stuff for the Klingons, let's say, for example. But yeah, it's more or less like the bulk of the humanoid species. They have different skin pigmentations, of course, on the inside. It's like the DNA and their internals are different. It's you can't just have like, oh, I'm gonna land on this planet. There is like another species. They're a bit primitive, and let's have babies. Well, no, it does not work like this. So yeah, it's like alien hybrid species are quite rare in the universe, Star Shutter universe. Very few species are actually even remotely compatible, so they can produce an offspring. So yeah, but definitely there is a great potential for cosplay, and some of the readers have bugged me about. Well, not it's not exactly, but they're not exactly bugging me, but they've been asking me questions about the different alien races, like specifics about clothing and such, and especially about some of the baddies, the Zarans, for example. So yeah, I've been telling them stuff from pulling stuff from my notes, so they can get a better idea of how these people clothe themselves. And of course, you have a lot of cultural references in the books and in the anthology, which is a collection of short stories, which is titled "A Mandate, a Sword and Railgun," which has a very cool, long and comprehensive glossary with even more stuff, even more in-universe information about different areas like races, technology, etc., etc. So
Right. I will say this though, like book 2, like that the design of that ship that has me hooked right there.
oh yes, it's this is something a friend of mine, an artist and a musician. He made it for me. It's an oil painting. It's an actual oil painting. It's not digital.
Yeah.
And he scanned it, and I think if well we lost I lost contact with him, but he made it, and then he I think sold the oil painting. But it's awesome. I mean, he was having fun reading them. This is, by the way, this ship. It's a Tazaran ship. It's the flagship of the main villain in the book series, Lord Omasa, who is a Tazaran. And this is a Tazaran ship. Is called the Emperor's Throne.
Okay. Yeah, I dig that. See, I'm a big villain guy. I love villains. Like they're most of the time my favorite characters. So like, and I'm a big Star Wars nerd, or was anyway, at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know, um, let's see, there is. Hold on.
Give me a
See,
second.
here is mine, and it's kind of just the Godfather meets superheroes. You know, and
He's is like a dark hero.
um, the hero actually changes in every book. I've got it set up like tarot cards. So there's a different character relating to every tarot card, to the major arcana tarot cards. So like this one is the kind of the concept for the cover of the first book. This one is a later book, but because I've got it's 22 books altogether that I will be working on, and I'm about halfway through writing the first book. This one is this character right here is he's kind of got ghost powers. If he's a detective, but it's more from the perspective of the mafia than it is the quote unquote superheroes. So he is a perspective character in it, but it's just a little bit different the way it's written. So, but yeah,
I have a lot of I've done a lot of research on different types of villains. In the book series, I have quite a lot of them, and they have, of course, each of them is strong and weak in their own right. It's not uncommon to have, just like in the real world, it's not uncommon to have like a simple thug who is like beholden to higher up, and the higher up, of course, is more intelligent. It's this is the usual stuff. Like the footpath will most definitely not be an Einstein level intellect. That's why he or she is the footpath. Is like the underling. And of course, just like all good villains, they have to be smart, prudent, and they have to learn. They have to learn from the heroes. Otherwise, if they remain static, they become crusty, and they will be easily defeated. And no one likes that. That's the better the villain, the better the hero, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, completely. Like the villain makes the hero, you know.
Well, in my books, it's actually the hero makes the villain.
Okay, well that's cool too. You know, I like that.
I'm a good good. Let's see, how many books was it? 16 total, I think, into this part of the part of the story, because it's the Star Shatter series is the Koji, 10 books, and then you have 2 trilogies which deal with they're like almost like prequels, but they explore something which was not explored in the books. It was just mentioned in the books. It's called A War for Sirius. As the first big colony of the Terrans. And the first trilogy is exploring the war on the ground, and the second one is exploring the war in space. Like in the system, the same system where Sirius is, and it's how should I put it? I mean, there are plenty of characters, and I like to show everything from different points of view. From it's not just the hero, or the heroes who are just like, yeah, we're doing this because we all know why. But you also have the point of view of the villains, and they are not diminished in any way. They are not like inferior copies of the heroes. Right. They have their own, of course. They have their own motivation. They have their supply lines. They have their commanders. They have. It depends on the villains, and of course, the more varied types of organizations you have, the better. And that's why, and of course, since this is a space opera, you need space pirates, because know everything is better with pirates.
This is true.
That's the universal rule. If you don't have pirates, you suck. Basically, and yes, I do have. They do have like cartels, narco cartels, which they're quite powerful. They have multiple. They have control of like dozens and dozens of star systems. They are really powerful. Just quite similar to what we have here. The Colombian cartels or the Mexican. It's like
right. Yeah,
they're quite rich. They're very rich. So
yeah. See, my book, there aren't really heroes and villains because it's more they're more realistic than heroes and villains. Let's put it like that. That's why I don't use the word superhero or supervillain in it. It's the mafia and cops is what it is. It's super cops versus super mafia. So the mafia characters are more like the Godfather characters. It's kind of a romanticization of the whole genre of noir. Like Detective Wraith, he's very much, your dark, gritty cop type character with ghost powers. And then Fortune, who's the main character of the first book, anyway, he is trying to just get by. That's his whole thing. He's just trying to get by, trying to live to another day. That is his whole motivation.
That reminds me that you watch the way you explained it. It's like it brings that oomph, that extra oomph, like the background stuff, which like modern Hollywood, they have forgotten about the background stuff. They just, we need just flash explosions and bullshit. It's like, no, where are the little people? Where are they? Where the fuck are they? They are nowhere to be seen. And when you mentioned this, like this guy who just wants to get by, I have like in almost I think in all of the books I have different scenes, and then like side characters even who later I incorporated into parts of the story, the main story, who are just like normal dudes, normal girls. It's like, I'm just here. I'm just selling street food, or I'm tending to my farm, or I'm just pickpocketing this this guy over here. Don't mind me. I mean, it's like even in the third book, when they some of the characters they visit one of the more famous criminal. It's not actually a hideout. Like it's quite normal for them to be there, but it's like a base, older station, which they have they're using it like different gangs to do some trafficking, etc., etc.
Right.
And two of the characters go there, and the first thing they do is they bump into just one just regular criminal who's just like minding his own business. He's like, oh, these two idiots are just strolling by. I'll just try to mug them.
Mm.
He just that's his day. That he just
Yeah.
he just woke up and picked up his gun. He's like, idiot tourists. I'll try to mug them.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check out your books. I've heard Royce talk about them, you know, and I've seen you in his chat. I'm definitely going to have to check them out. I'm digging it more and more. I'm digging it. Right. I keep wanting to watch his what's your guys' D&D game. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, it's we did a testing session where we kind of ironed out most of the technical stuff.
Mhm.
It's still like, I mean, we're using the Gilded as like as the voice chat.
Right.
And last time when we did session 0, that was the actual first session. It kind of did like the robot thing, chopping the voices or speeding them up or doing like weird stuff, which it did not the last time. The last time was pretty much perfect. It never screwed up the voices, but now it did it. I have no fucking idea why it did that. But anyways, it's a campaign which is set in the book universe of Star Shatter.
Right.
It's a mod which I did myself. It's like added all the technology in from Star Shatter, all the races. And I created character classes from scratch, feats from scratch, mechanics, model mechanics, and such. Like even the crafting mechanics, which you can pretty much build everything starting from the usual items like the guns, armor, etc., to big mechs and spaceships and upgrades and systems for them. And you can even use a salvage like scrap. You can use scrap to craft stuff.
Right.
So,
very cool. Very cool. Let me see here. Hello, Asher. Atra.
Ooh.
I see Atra in the chat. He's probably gone. He comes in to troll me, and then leaves. He's one of my best friends, but he'll come in to troll me.
Yeah, that's what friends do.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, there he is.
I'm not.
Let's see here. Okay, so right here, let me see. Is it pulling up? I don't. No, it is not. Okay. I will figure out how to use StreamYards. I promise. Just let's see.
Just the fact that it's working is enough.
Yes, the other one would not. So
yeah, the other one would not, and it's quite strange. But yeah. So you were about to ask me something, and I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't about to ask something. I'm about to show something here. I just as soon as it gets off the infinite screen there. Okay, so this is what I was doing while you guys were playing the game. Can y'all see my YouTube? Can y'all see it? I don't know. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So the Jack Skellington there, that is me. And I told this guy I would give him a shout out tonight. So.
Oh yes. Yes. This is cool. So cool.
This is the photographer that was there. He had a YouTube channel. So I did say I would Photo is what it's called, and that right there now, that is,
So
I
good.
love it.
So good.
Yes, but I did want to give him a shout out for sure. He made me his thumbnail like for this video, so like yes, I've got to like get me get a print of that to go on my wall for sure. Because
For sure. For
Okay.
sure, and you have to ask him to sign it,
oh yeah,
and you sign it.
Mhm.
Both of you sign it.
Yes, but that the photographer there, he was amazing. Like with what he was doing, like he had a whole studio set up there at the convention.
Yeah, that's how professionals do it.
Yeah. So definitely got to get that printed off though. But yeah, shout out to Photo. He does like camera reviews and stuff like that. So y'all check him out if you're into that type of stuff, or you're into learning about photography for sure. Definitely wanted to shout that out though. That was, I woke up and saw that this morning. And I'm like, I'm this dude's thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm gonna pop into his comments and be like, hey, that's me.
I felt well, it's not exactly similar, but it's not like it's the same, but somewhat similar. When I got the first character art, my characters, and later I got like fan made character art. And even like a kid, I think he was like 10 years old or something, whose dad got him the first books, and he read them, and he liked one of the side characters who is who appears in the first book, and later appears in one of some of the following books. And this guy is like a very colorful alien. Like you can't call his people creepy. They are not creepy, even though they look like weirdish. They have like little tentacles where their mouth is supposed to be like squid faces almost.
Right.
But they are not evil. They are some of them are quite mischievous, but they're not out to let's say, we can't even compare them to the these creepy beings from the D&D monster manual, which they can drain your they can the mind flayers.
Mind flayers, yeah.
No, they're not the mind flayers. Like they're yeah, they might cheat you out of your money. It's like they might lie to you. They might sell you like a crappy spaceship or something like that. But they're not like super evil per se. And they change, like the pigmentation of their skin is changing, and sometimes it's even rainbow colored. And they're very quite flamboyant as like as a species, and they like wearing hollow hats, which are basically, it's a hologram of a hat.
Yeah,
they love that.
I like that. I really like that.
And this kid, like he said, like his dad said that he asked his dad to reread this part to him and help him, like tell him how he imagined his dad, how he imagined this character, and they compared it, and then the kid like drew this pencil drawing like in his textbook. So that was pretty cool.
See, DCC or David in that's his name on Twitter is David. He goes by DCC on here though. He's done some fan art of my characters that have been really good. I can't pull up Twitter right now to show it, but
I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't pull it up right now to show it, but he's made some fan art of certain characters of mine, which I just thought was amazing because I'm like, dude, I just made this concept art like yesterday, and you've already got like fan art of it.
Oh, that definitely is amazing. One of the people who made like the most fan art is Lily. She goes by Lilliput on Minds. She has like she did I think all of them, and you can see the if you pull my Amazon page, you can see that the seventh book, Princess of the Stars, she did the cover. That's her cover with her fan art. So I went full indie on that.
Let's see here.
You can see all the characters there, everyone. The captain is in front. That's like with his companion, and all of the characters are there. Every single one.
Oh, that's really cool.
And otherwise,
yeah, that's really cool. I dig that. Oh, let's see.
More and more people are checking it out. It would seem that my novella is kind of is gonna be my bestseller this month. The newest novella. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, definitely go check that out, guys. If you like space operas, definitely go check it out.
It's you can also say that it's I've been doing some pretty well, not stellar job, but let's say a good job at restoring the old Sword and Planet under my new name, the new name that I gave it, Sword and Railgun, because it's a bit different. It's different because in Sword and Planet you have like the main protagonist is always a human, and he or she goes to an alien planet, which is somehow capable of sustaining,
right?
But here you have you not only have, and they mostly use like melee weapons. And there may be some ancient technology somewhere which does stuff. So, but here it's a bit different because in most cases, like the main character is an alien who goes to Terran space and interacts with humans. And then you have like the it's more like the of course you have like some ancient tech or something, but you also have like the current day, modern day space age Terran stuff, and that's why I kind of I changed the name. it's sword and railgun.
Right.
Railgun being like the signature, one of the signature Terran weapons. So yeah, that's, and of course you have space magic, you have ghosts, you have monsters, you have all the nice, cool, fun stuff from the good old days.
Yeah. The stuff that this just seems to be absent now, or
Mm-hmm.
altered to where it's not
Reimagined,
recognizable.
deconstructed
Yep.
to better suit the modern audience,
Yeah.
which doesn't exist.
Right.
The elusive modern audience, and that's why all of their shitty movies tank in the
Yes.
box office, because no one is going, no
Yeah.
one is watching them.
Look, I said this on us on the stream with Royce the other night. Like, if you have not seen Bullet Train, watch Bullet Train. It is probably the only movie to come out last year that's worth watching, and it's amazing.
I think you got me thinking right there. I haven't seen any new movies in years. I may have watched like out of morbid curiosity, by the way, I may have watched that quasi Star Trek series, the STD stuff, and some of the Picard episodes, but it kind of killed way too many gray cells.
Yeah.
So I
think
stopped.
it did.
It wasn't. It's probably because I'm an evil misogynist and racist and something. It's like, yeah, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
Hey,
No, fuck them. I'm not sorry. It was disgusting and boring as fuck.
Yeah, well, welcome to the Guild of Calamitous Intent. That's our whole shtick, is that we're super villains. They want us to be villains so bad, so we're
super
villains.
racist.
we're villains who just talk shit. That's what we do. We just make fun of it. But yeah, it's like I said, Bullet Train's probably the only like movie I would recommend that came out all of last year.
Is it Korean?
No, it's an American movie.
Oh, okay.
But it's got Brad Pitt, and it takes place in Japan on a bullet train. The entire movie takes place on a bullet train, and it's like an action comedy movie.
Yeah,
so
because when you said Bullet Train, I kind of remembered something about another quite prominent. I think it was Korean, like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
To the train to Busan or whatever. It's like I probably butchered the name of the.
Yeah.
But that movie was good. That movie was really good. Really good.
Like this movie, it was really it's a lot like a 90s movie.
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
meaning good movie.
Let's say Kira says it was Train to Busan. Is what that was.
Yeah, Train to Busan.
Yeah. So this is it's a bunch of assassins basically on a bullet train, and they're all like it's hard to explain, but as far as it goes, because it's so fast paced, but like you get the backstory of a character that is only on screen for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you get his entire backstory.
An excellent job.
It's like from when he's a kid to the moment he's only on screen for 5 minutes.
Nice.
But you get his entire backstory.
Yeah, probably they did pull like a good show, and then maybe, well, I've not seen the movie. I could only assume that they use like, I don't know, maybe flashbacks, something.
Yeah, they use a flashback
Yeah,
to kind of try to
that's
explain what
that's a
he's
good
doing
way to
there,
do. Yeah.
and then they don't explain everybody's backstory, but like Brad Pitt has this bad luck thing, and that's all he calls it, is his bad luck thing. Um, and he just he has the best of the worst luck. Let's put it like that. But and it's just there's some Yakuza boss trying to kill him. It's really good. But yeah, it's hilarious too.
So yeah, that's the way to that's the that's the way to do a flick like that. It's like the the 90s and the 80s
Hmm.
action
Yeah,
comedies. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's
But
what it reminded me of.
this is a winning formula.
But here's the thing about that movie never released in theaters. It was only direct to DVD and Netflix.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't. Um,
Have a good one,
they
Chris M.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, night, Chris. We'll catch you later. I'll catch you later. Um, but yeah, it's the backstory thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of noticed that in most of these, and especially like their even the TV shows, which they should they should have plenty of view time to show the backstory. They screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did in my series is that I have like a slightly different format, but from since like the very beginning, I began, I published the feedback. The readers' feedback is quite positive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first book is the intro book. It actually each chapter is about a different character, and they all tie together, and they all show the most relevant part of their backstory before they join the crew of the MS Star Shelter. And when you reach the end, when you get like to the last part of the book, you have like you have the complete picture why all of them are there, what are their motivations, what uh, happened, so they can do what they do, meaning that you it well in depending on the character, sometimes you have like a training montage,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the really cool things that they did back in the day in the movies, and in of course in the comics and everywhere. uh, but you after reading the first book, you have you as a reader, you get them, you get all the characters. And in my own experience so far, like I'm not some genius, I'm just an indie, but in my experience so far, like I found out, I discovered that by adopting this, I was able to spare extra page space to tell a much deeper story,
Mm-hmm.
and to also flesh out the villains to equal level with the heroes, with the main heroes.
Yeah.
And then I even had extra page space to grow them more. So I'm able to do probably 2 or 3 times more than what I expected. So it works.
Right. Right. In mine, I didn't really. I'm not telling backstories in the first book. That's I'm not telling anybody's backstory. I'm not telling how anybody's powers actually work in the first book. It's kind of just like because the characters themselves don't understand how their powers work. They don't have the science to tell them how their powers work. So, like as a reader, you can look at it and be like, "Oh, well, that's like it's like a bad luck power. It's like that's a bad luck power. That's what he's got, you know. Um, you and that's what the character thinks they have, and then you might be able to pick out what it actually is if you keep reading, you know. But the characters themselves do not know the full extent of their powers because they don't have the science or the language to describe what their powers are, right? Other than say
Yeah.
somebody who has the ability to steal other people's powers. They can surely they can describe what they're doing there or copy other people's powers. They've got that language, but say somebody who has the probability field, they don't have that language to describe what they're actually doing. So they don't know like the full extent of their powers in my book. And it's mainly because of how they got their powers. And Royce asked me one time, he's like, so is it one event that gives them all their powers or is it separate events? And I told him both.
Yeah. That's
like that was my answer to him. It's both at the same time. And he's like, how does that work? And I'm like,
like one of the best ways to make the reader interested and keep them interested is to have this veneer of mystery, but not the bullshit Hollywood way with the shitty mystery boxes.
oh,
Hey,
hey,
mystery box, yeah.
hey, we summoned Royce to the chat.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up,
So,
Ronan?
yeah. So in my in the Star Child series, like there are a few mysterious things which are quite pivotal, quite important, and I'm not going to midi-chlorian them. No, I'm not. I have like I left a breadcrumb trail for the reader to follow, starting from book one, and I drop like breadcrumbs or a piece of toast here and there. It's like, here you go. Like if you like your gray cells to be entertained further, you could theorize about this. If you don't, it's your, like, you paid for the book, like you do whatever you want. But yeah, you have these mysteries, you have these um, old places and items and stuff, which is the classic good old storytelling things, which were here with us since the beginning of storytelling. And if it works, you don't throw it away, you don't fucking reimagine it, you don't fucking deconstruct it. No, you use it because it works. Period.
Right. 100%.
Ooh.
100%.
Good evening, Royce. What are you doing? Are you reading, good sir?
Yeah, see, I've been on this kick where I'm buying like classic novels and stuff like that too. just to because you never can tell what'll happen. If internet and everything goes down tomorrow, you've got to have something to entertain yourself with. So I've gotten just where I'm collecting just older novels that you don't see circulated much anymore, other than like Lord of the Rings, because that's everywhere, just about. But like,
Yes. If you like, I may give you a recommendation
mm-hmm,
for an older set of books.
mm-hmm.
Um, have you ever heard about Sandokan?
Mm, you send me the. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a quite famous Corsair captain hero.
mm,
He's a I think he is Malaysian, but he's called like the Tiger of Malaysia. And
mm,
this is a set of books which is set during the British colonial imperial era,
mm,
and when you had this transition from the age of sail to the age of steam.
mm.
And it's, I mean, pirates. Come on,
Right, right.
pirates.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I mean,
I'll send you a link. Give me a second.
yeah. Send me a link for sure.
It's
Yeah, check that out.
it's written by a guy, um, an Italian. Um, no, not this. No, not this one. Come on. Yeah, but yeah, it's too late. I kind of got it confused in my mind. But yeah, I was
That's
about
fine.
to.
You send it to me on Gilded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
But yeah, so Sandokan is like this cool, suave corsair who is also
mm,
has like a tragic backstory. And he was his land, his quote unquote kingdom was taken away from him by a corrupt British um governor. So it's yeah, it's quite awesome. I mean, I devoured it. I think I read the books that I had like more than a few times.
okay.
So it's written by Emilio Salgari, uh, who is probably um, one of the pioneers in science fiction also. Um, and he's probably most famous by his swashbuckling character
Mm.
Sandokan. So you'll have lots of fun reading that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
it's
definitely.
uh, it's a it's a top notch stuff with all the proper tropes, with everything as it should be,
As it should
working
be. Yes, yes.
as working like a well oiled machine.
Right. Yeah. I got a few things I'm working on at the moment for my universe. I'm going to work on a radio drama for it, to a
Oh,
YouTube channel for it. It's just going to be pure radio drama, to tell side stories with. And Royce gave me the idea after I had made a newspaper, like a little as an advertisement, and he's like, "Dude, you should print an actual newspaper and put stories in it." I'm like,
yep.
"All right, yeah, I'll do it." So there's going to be an actual in-universe newspaper that people will get with the book once I get to where I can, make it. But I'll probably release the newspaper way before I release the book, honestly. But
That's a great idea,
mm-hmm.
by the way.
Yeah, yes. Shout out to Royce for that one because that was a good one. And we showed the we showed the newspaper on his stream there, like just a cover page for it, and he's like, "Yeah, you should totally do this," and I'm like, "I'll totally do that." You know, that sounds like a good idea. So I gotta come up with stories, and I'm gonna put like ads for like in-universe ads and stuff like that too for Iron Age creators if they want. But just as kind of a shout out to all of you guys if you want it put in there. But yeah.
I did something. I did something. By the way, in the game, in the tabletop, I created like a vending machine for pies. And it's a vending machine for Neutron Bore pies, which Neutron Bore is my good friend, artist, and cover artist. So he loved it. He watched the stream and he was like, "Oh, come on, man!"
Yeah.
And they have like when you eat them, they have like in effect like they give you a little bit of radiation protection.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Yeah, so shut up, dogs. It's too late for that.
The dogs are like, why aren't we on the stream too?
Yeah, they're outside. Well, one of them's outside.
Somebody let the dogs out.
Yeah, she I don't know what she's after.
Probably Wendigo.
Yeah, probably. She's a German Shepherd. She'll be fine.
Oh, by the way, do you have like maybe monsters in your books?
Or
is it a spoiler?
If it's a spoiler? No. It's not really a spoiler. It's that there's a group. I've got like special names for every group of people. So like the and I don't have my list here, but like the cops who have powers are called capers, right? Because it's like that it fits with that time period, you know. So they call themselves capers, and the mafia calls them capers. But there's the freak shows, and they're pretty much the monstrous ones. And then there's I don't really have supernatural monsters and not in this book. I do have
no cryptids, no. It's like not it's just the result of the event or the events that gave them the superpowers.
At least not at this point in time. I don't have any. Gotcha. Because it all kind of spreads out from here, from this time period. It spreads out from here. So, and the universe changes from this point. As far as it goes, like history changes from this point.
Yeah, it becomes like an alternate history, just like Star Shatter.
Yes,
it's like it's something happens, and then you have all of these powers and people with powers, and then religions change and governments change and society changes. It's
well, and I can go ahead and say this part. So all of the powered characters, they don't go after what they call the regulars. You know, like you go into a restaurant and you go in there every day. You're called a regular. Well, that's what they call normal people, specifically the normal people that are linked to them. in some way. You know, they're the people that they're supposed to protect on both sides, good and bad. Right. So the rule that they followed since the first of them came about is that you don't go after another powered person's regulars. You don't do it. It's just one of the rules, and that's kind of what sets this off. Is one of the capers destroys a speakeasy, basically, that was a regular speakeasy that belonged to the mob. So one of the capers, one of the cops, broke the rule that these guys follow. It's like Highlander. You know, Highlander, they have those rules that they had to follow. And they broke the rule. So to stop a war, you know, they've got to punish that one caper, basically. Or a war gets started. You know, just because over them attacking regular people.
Yeah, it's kind of how they changed almost all of the laws and did away with a bunch of regulations which they were no longer needed, basically, after the well, it's not just the Second World War. It's before that. It's many years before that. But they had to change certain things. Either it's like improved, adapt, overcome. But it's like change, grow, or die. Yes. Your it's like because they when they found in the later years when they discovered that aliens exist,
right,
and even earlier they know, oh wait, we have like these people with telepathic abilities. We call them witches and wizards and whatnot. Some are stronger than others, but they definitely do exist. And like the certain organizations, they all vied for control of these people. Like, oh, we must have more of them, so and then we will control the world, blah blah blah. And it's like, and there is another organization who's like, no, we are going to control the world. Oh, we need more of these people. And it's like you can imagine what happens, like if they go after kids whom they have detected like their own already. The telepaths that they have among them, they have detected, oh, this kid, it's like we must kidnap them, or we must like brainwash them to obey us. It's stuff. And after all of these like chaotic stuff had happened during the history, and of course you have cryptids and all sorts of scary monsters on Earth, which of course they don't run in broad daylight like, look at me, I'm like the Wendigo. No. They're creepily creeping somewhere where they're supposed to be creeping.
Right. Yeah.
But definitely, you know, like some people are like, wait a minute, something is happening here, like people are disappearing, or we were finding stuff, like, or someone very credible saw this thing, and it's like, we know that this person is not stupid, is not crazy, is not drunk, so definitely something is going on. And when you get to the point where the fucking aliens are like introduced into the mix, meaning they have been here many thousands of years, and many different aliens have been here, but when you have like the industrial age and photographs and stuff, and when finally you have like, well, this does not actually look like a hot air balloon. It's like, no, what the fuck is this? And people are like, wait a minute, so we have like another problem here. But it's
well, another thing about it is like, okay, so, and then this is it in the universe, the reason that they protect like the regular people is because anybody on the planet can become one, but can become another super. And if you kill them, then you may have shrunk your population by doing it. It's not like say Magneto. Magneto hates normal people. By the X-Men movies anyway. He can't stand the normal people. Tries to commit genocide on them and all that stuff. It's not like that in this world. It's very much like they're not powered, so we don't fuck with them unless they try to kill us or something. Then it's different. But
Yeah, unless it's
like
self-defense.
Anybody, if it's self-defense, that's one thing. But you don't actively go after somebody else's regulars. So because you will start a war that way because they've cultivated people around them, and anybody who is around them could develop powers as well. And it could be just random people developing powers. But there's actually a method to it, like a hero or a super powered character breeds with a normal person. They're creating a weaker version of the heroes. So they can pretty much
a hybrid.
The hybrids in my world are not stronger; they are weaker. So the hybrid between a human and a regular human and a super, they have like regular. What would you consider more common superpowers, like super strings or like super speed, stuff like that? Like lower levels of the. And when two heroes breed with each other, or two powered characters breed with each other, the kid becomes way more powerful than them, and they get more powers. They get, but it's compounding power. So they get whatever powers both parents had.
So potentially bigger problems in the future.
Potentially bigger problems in the future, yes, because that's how I'm scaling the power. Is that it's going into like these kids that are created from this blending of power, and it could be whatever blending it is. Like, say somebody can control ice and they hook up with somebody who can control electricity. Well, they might be shooting lightning bolts that freeze you. Their kid might.
Nice.
Just it might electrocute you the entire time you're frozen. Stuff like that to keep you alive. Whatever. It's weird powers that don't make any sense because they don't understand how their powers work either. Like I keep going back to Fortune because he's the prime example of it. He doesn't understand how his powers work. He thinks he's got a good luck power. And it's more like he's narrowing down the possibilities.
That's a way of telling the story with keeping by keeping an extra veneer of mystery about it. So yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah, and then it just like you should. People say, well, what about the power scaling? Well, I don't have to worry about that because it's only 22 books. By the 22nd book, or whatever order I release them in, because they might not be in chronological order. Just so everybody knows, they may release different. I may release different times, as far as it goes, because every card is linked to a character, and you can read those. You can read tarot cards in any order. You don't read them 1 to 0, 1 to 22, or 0 to 22.
Yeah,
you read
it depends.
them.
It depends.
You can put them in any order, but the first one is Wheel of Time, or the Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, that is the first book in that, because that is the kind of the central time period. That's the important one to start with.
Yeah. Well, I have to remember. I kept forgetting that in especially in my uh, schedule and plans. It's like I decided doing things in a certain order, and I have to do them in that order. And I have like probably planned too much, but so far it's helping me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
might not be able to do like all the side books which are not part of that universe
Hmm.
because I have like a few dozen drafts.
Right.
But after finishing this Decaology, I will definitely do the one which is like another Decaology, which is with different characters, but is set during the Second World War in the Star Shutter universe, which is almost like it's somewhat similar to that aspect of the XCOM
Mm.
games where you
Yeah.
have these aliens that but it's different because they don't actually they can't they don't have the ability to fly in space or shoot them down. They have to deal with the consequences, and they have much older types of weapons.
Hmm.
And on top of everything, they have a world war.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's like, yeah, everything is falling apart, but we somehow have to deal with it. And on of course, you have to add the fact that there are still these monsters, and because of the fucking war, their areas, like their natural habitats, their hiding places,
Hmm.
they might be bombed. Like
Yeah.
actual battles might be raging there, and you imagine like, this is like this old forest. Oh well, we have to move like a few divisions over there. We have to establish like defensive positions, and then the enemy will start shelling us, and we will shell back, and the airplanes will drop bombs, and then we'll move some tanks and shit, and suddenly it's no longer a forest, and all the fucking Wendigos. Let's give that example. All the
Yeah.
fucking Wendigos in that forest. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Well, they're going to fucking eat the soldiers,
Yeah.
probably, definitely.
I, yeah. Definitely. Um, World War II might not happen in my universe. I'll put it like that. It may not happen because why would you? Well, it may happen in a different way in my universe.
Well, probably it might be like the way you explained it.
Hmm.
It will most probably be a series of local conflicts.
Yeah. Yeah. It won't get that big. It won't get as far as because okay. So let me go take a step back here. So everything starts in one town. Okay. It the heroes are in one town. They're not all over the world yet. By the later books, they are, but they don't start off that way. So,
Yeah,
and
I
then,
get it.
yeah, so why would you go to war with a country that has, super beings working as federal agents, that could just go over there and end the conflict? That's one thing that's always bothered me about the oldest comic books, like the 40s comic books, are, other than got Captain America, because he's the only one that makes sense going, is like Superman going over there, right? Superman going into World War II, and you know, how
Yeah,
did that
I
conflict
remember.
not stop immediately?
I
Like,
remember. I remember watching these, like there was like an older series,
mm,
the Justice League.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And then they had these series of like the story arc with Vandal Savage,
yeah, yeah,
and of course, like they were the Superman was there and the Green Lantern was there. Like, just Green Lantern would end the fucking war.
I mean,
That's
any of
enough.
them other than Batman,
Yeah.
really. I mean, just
Yeah,
any of them would end the
Batman
war.
can fucking end the war. He'll just go there, go into like in one of the command centers, and he'll just offer his genius level intellect, and then he will fucking end the war.
But there's something that's always bothered me about any kind of superhero comics is why do they? And I don't like the subversion ones either. I really don't like the Watchmen, stuff like that, where they do change history and it's worse somehow because of it. I don't like the Watchmen.
They play too much with the deconstruction of.
They do. Yeah. They do. But like, so Superman showing up in any war, all right, unless Darkseid is on the other end of that, or one of Superman's main enemies is on the other end of that, leading it, that war ends immediately. That stops when Superman shows up.
They can't fight him.
Mm-hmm. They can't fight him. They
how
can't win.
how can they fight him?
They shoot, and especially people who don't know who he is, right? And they hit him with all their bombs. Nothing happens. Like they're not continuing that fight.
It's enough if you're a fucking, like, if you're some pilot and you see like a man flying, and ripping the wing of your aircraft with his bare hands.
Yes,
that's fucking enough. Just one report will be enough.
Yeah. So with mine, I don't have anything on Superman's level. Let me put it like in my world. There's nothing on that level because it's been done 1,000 times. I'm not making a Superman clone in my universe. I don't have a Batman clone in my universe because normal people can kill these guys with a bullet. Most of them are not bulletproof, but that's why I went with the Mafia theme, because bullets. But they can't really fight them, like physically handle most of them. Some of them they can, but normal people just can't deal with them as far as raw power goes. Because while I don't have anybody on Superman's level, nobody is street level. Not really. They're like Luke Cage being street level, right? He's not really street level, but he doesn't fight anything up at even his level most of the time. So it's like Daredevil and Luke Cage being street level as opposed to Batman being street level. So it's a different kind of street level because not everybody's on the same like level either. Like you don't have heroes and villains being on the same level. Like how do you fight a dude with ghost powers? How do you fight against that dude?
Yeah, I have one of my characters is a telepath who at some point during his childhood is I'm not going to spoil it, but he gets like a number of ghosts, a number of spirits in his mind. And he is he's a human telepath. He gets to control fire, and he also has another special ability, which is to fold space, which is like somewhat of a control over hyperspace.
Yeah,
which is supremely hard, and like all of it, like telepaths exist, like they are part of modern space age warfare, because otherwise the like any empire which does not use their own telepaths, they would be idiots.
Right.
extreme morons, and you have to have them as spies and counterintelligence, of course, because others will do it. That's
Yeah.
only natural. So there are technologies which are developed to somewhat combat this, combat the telepaths, like machines that fuck with their concentration,
Mm.
so they can manifest their powers. But it's not actually like super cheap to have them.
Right.
So yeah, you can say that these telepaths, they might be seen as somewhat like some superhero. I can't I can't I can't I can't remember a specific one, but yeah, you could say yeah, these like they can shoot lightning, they can bend the laws of physics, and extract heat from this fire, let's say, and form a fireball and launch it at you and blah blah blah. So
Right.
yeah, some people see them as such. On more primitive planets, like, oh, the witches, or like the warlocks
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
coming, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's and by the way, when in some of the books, when the crew gets to flies to another planet, which is like it's not a spacefaring civilization, and they bump into him, and it's like, oh, yeah, your group has a wizard, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm the wizard, yeah, hello there, I'm a wizard. It's like he knows that, like, he accepts it.
All right. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Uh, like so, I've got a concept in mind, and they're called the originals. Right. They're the first of their kind, of course. And the funny thing about them is that they are like mythological heroes, not really like original characters. They're just mythological heroes. So like Hercules,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
all of them. They're what they call the originals. So they think that their rules came from the originals. The rules that they have to follow. They think that it came from them. You know, but they also the there's two types. There's the ones born with their powers who are born from a super parent, or there's the ones who just get their powers from the event. So the ones who get their event, they all have a similar thing that happens, um, and they believe that their power comes from God or a god. I'll put it like that. You get to see a little of it in the first book,
Gotcha.
because there is someone who actually gets powers in the first book. A lot of them start off with their powers, and then their stories are told in other books. But because I'm jumping around the timeline to before this point, after this point, until I can get the 22 books told, um, and then I'll release a chronological like reading order after the fact. Or but the reading order is the order I release them in, but you can actually read them after the first book in any order up until the last, and you'll be okay. Because every book kind of references every other book, other than you can read them in any order, really. That's one of the things I've always wanted to create was a comic book that you could read in any order, um, and it kind of go with the tarot card theme. So it
That's
has
that's original. That's
you.
original.
Yeah, well, originally I was going to have it be two books in one, and it was going to be like So you got the front and the back. They've got the same picture, just the back has it upside down. Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the cards. Yeah,
Like the cards,
exactly.
yeah, inverted. So instead of reading it like page and then the back page, you would skip the back page and read the very next page. And you'd read all the way through one way, flip it over and read it the other way. And then you get the inverse of it. So I was going to do it like that, and I still might, but at this point, I'm kind of it's probably going to be more of a radio drama than anything at this point, where I do that. But I'm telling, so every card has a meaning. Every card is linked to a character, at least by the meta plot of it. Every card is linked to a character. So Wheel of Fortune is linked to fortune, of course, and it means good luck, bad luck, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Just inverted and in whatever. So he represents both sides of that card. That's as his thing. And then the chapters of the book are minor arcana cards. So like the Two of Cups, stuff like that. Three of Swords. And I have them broken up like that. So what it does is it lays out a spread of tarot cards that you're reading. And if you could read tarot cards, you can probably at least pick up on the story a lot easier and a lot quicker than somebody who, say, doesn't want to care about the tarot card stuff. So they might find out later from not knowing the tarot cards. And I'm going to print some tarot cards to go with the book, with the meaning there too. So, and it's going to have the covers and all that on it,
and the characters, I expect.
And the characters, yes, yeah. Like that picture that I showed earlier of the cover, that is actually one of the tarot cards. It's the Wheel of Fortune tarot card, and the other one is the Devil tarot card. So those two characters both show up in this book. But hey, what's up, Jolly? Yeah. So both of those characters show up in this book, or will show up on the radio drama for sure. They're going to be there. But I've designed the radio drama to where it's going to kind of be side characters, mostly side stories that don't really apply to these books, other than to be canon to them.
Maybe one of the side characters would be a journalist who's reporting on some events, maybe reporting on the powered characters.
Yeah. That's we're going to be doing that too. It's going to be like there's a radio drama and then there's the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be two different things. One of them is going to be like the reporting thing. And the other one is going to be just telling the story, in it's like an audiobook version of it, just pretty much what it's going to be. And it's just going to be other stories that apply to the universe, but are not directly, you don't have to listen to these to get the story of the books, pretty much. But there'll be just additional stuff.
Yeah, they'll enhance the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like just like if you just had one of the books,
mm-hmm.
and then later you got like this, you discovered that there is a YouTube channel with a radio drama, and you're like, ooh,
yeah. And the newspaper links to it too. So it tells some more stories, but in the style of a newspaper from that era. So that's the whole. It's a whole big universe that I've got going, but it's going to be, and then also you've got the story of the originals, right? Well, why would I introduce the concept of the originals without telling their story, or at least telling what they are? I'm telling what they are now. But their stories may have changed from what like humanity has told, and that's just what they believe the originals are, right? You got to keep that in mind. They believe that those are the originals. Shoulder hurting. But yeah, they believe that the originals are super powered beings from their story. Like,
in on Earth in Star Shuttle, they have like this history, ancient history about um,
right.
events and places that just like here with, let's see, there was like this place in around Asia which disappeared beneath the waves during the deluge,
Mm-hmm.
the Atlantis and this and that. But the actual difference is that they know that these exist,
Mm-hmm.
and they know where they are.
Yeah.
And in most cases, like they have already excavated, they have found artifacts, or there were actually artifacts existing, and there were people who actually knew that's like, for example, in Egypt, because Egypt is it's it's the ancient Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking about the uh, dynastic Egypt here from our Earth. I'm talking about the Egypt from the time of Atlantis. It's like in some way it still exists. They have preserved some knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of fell apart a few times. Um, uh, got almost ruined, but got up on its feet, and then again and again. Invasions, it's like
Yeah.
famine, plague, and such things that happen naturally. So but here right now, like it's always, by the way, it's always the current year in the each following book. When the books get published, it's like in the book, the
Mm-hmm.
timeline is always the current year. And so you have this Egypt, which they have restored much of the stuff that they have, like the ancient temples,
Mm-hmm.
the canals, the giant irrigation canals and stuff, like shining obelisks, and they have like a wireless transfer of power, wireless quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually transferred by radio waves, but I don't spoil, I won't spoil it. And they have all of this stuff, and they have some of the old knowledge, and it's like many of their priests are telepaths. It's kind of, it went it collided with main quote unquote mainstream archaeology, mainstream
Yeah.
historians who actually denied reality. It's like you don't exist, and like a priest of, let's say, a priest of thought. It's like, how? I'm here, like my temples are here, I have the scrolls. No, this is fiction. Your priest like just wrote these scrolls with this, like this is fake history. It didn't exist, never happened. Only what we say happened.
Yeah.
And the priest is like, but no, this happened, we have evidence. And it's like these historians are like, no, you don't have evidence, this is fake. uh, and I won't go into further details because that would be major spoilers. But you've got like throughout the series, you've got some pretty hilarious
Mm-hmm.
things happening, especially when the Asgardians come like for a second time on Earth, and some of the full of themselves. Historians are like, he doesn't exist, and he kicks a giant, like a 15-tall giant. He kicks it. Yeah, it's like he doesn't. He's not here. This is an illusion.
Yeah. So I'm running a D&D game on Tuesday nights. It's called Kaiju Born, and it's basically like so far in the future that like Godzilla and all that was real in this world. Like Godzilla were the gods for these people. Godzilla and the monsters from Godzilla, Gamera, all those. Right. So these people evolved around basically Godzilla.
Huge monsters.
Yeah, huge monsters. They evolved around them. So and they have the stories from the past, which are basically the Godzilla movies. They've got the story, but they don't know which ones are real. They don't know which, and that I've got every Godzilla that has ever existed as one of their gods, and they're like, well, which one is the real Godzilla? The Godzilla tribe is the most broken up tribe because of their beliefs, because they have different Godzillas that they worship.
They have sects. We're this sect.
Yes,
we're that
yes.
sect.
So like the Godzilla tribe is the biggest, but they're also the most fractured because of that. And they've got every Godzilla, and like the champions get to summon the power of one of the Godzillas or one of the kaiju, somewhat. That's the whole thing, and like they could use the powers anyway, but they actually get to summon like a stand. You've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Persona, any of those. Then like they just summon it, to fight for them, and they basically get an in-game boss that they can use for like one round. And then they have to let it rest for a little while, or it could kill them or take over them or whatever. So, and you don't want the spirit of a kaiju running loose in your body. So you got to use it quickly.
I assume it's not gonna end well.
Not if you use it too many times and without resting it, So, but everybody in the party has one, because everybody's a champion in this. So, and it's just kind of like they don't know what the past was. They don't know about modern day. What modern day was. They haven't found the ruins to that yet. Spoilers for you in the chat right there. I see you. I see you. Those of you who play, but no, they haven't found the ruins yet, and there will be ruins. Pretty soon actually, because we play it tomorrow. But yeah, they fought a bunch of kaiju so far. They hadn't really gotten that far in it, but yeah. That made me think of that. It's like, and then on Saturday nights I run a Castlevania game.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is the easiest, hardest game they've ever played. Because I'm using 3.5.
Yeah, I'm also using like highly modified tabletop, which is based on some things from 3.5 and some things from Pathfinder. But like I said earlier, most of it's like maybe 80% of it's built and designed by me. So
right, yeah. That's kind of how my Castlevania game really only uses the mechanics from 3.5 and like the feats. I didn't want to have to create a whole bunch of new feats for a Castlevania game, but like the weapons and stuff are all Castlevania. They are 100% how they work in Castlevania. But I've got the map set up where it's a side scroller, like the old video games.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's super fun just because of that. It's like they go into the castle or they go into certain levels and it might turn into a regular D&D map, but it's also just, like side scroller. So they're having to move sideways and they can't see the whole map that way. And yeah, it's great. I love their reactions to the traps. Like in the castle because I can throw anything I want to at them, and they're just it's just weird. I threw a dragon at them at level 5, but it's not a Dungeons and Dragons dragon. It's a
Yeah, it's
Castlevania
when
dragon.
you are specific.
It's a
Gotcha.
Castlevania dragon, which they can fight, you know.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it will kill them.
of course.
But they managed to kill it. They managed to kill it working together.
Yeah, it's
So
I back in the day I ran like quite a lot of Star Shutter themed campaigns.
mhm.
So that was even before I got to a point where I could like I was still working on the drafts.
Yeah,
Let me say, and there were like instances where um, I could throw different and quite powerful things from the Star Shutter book universe at them,
mhm.
but I made it so that they could, of course, unless it was like some pretty foolish mistake on their part. I made it so that they have like a way out, and in some
Right.
case even a multiple ways out, because in space, um, yeah, it wouldn't be interesting, or let's say, I'd say it would be quite boring if there were no monsters in space.
And that makes me think of I run this Star Wars game years ago, and I always do this when I run a Star Wars game. Randomly roll at some point to see if the ship starts to break apart when it enters hyperspace.
Uh,
If it because I give them a choice. Like you can stay on this planet, or you can start off with a ship. But if you start off with a ship, and don't buy it later. If you start off with a ship, I get to pick the ship. That's my ruling on it. If you don't wait until you're the proper level to buy one and be able to fly one and everything, then I pick the ship.
yeah.
And it's always a junker every time. But yeah, this one time I did it and I actually rolled like the number I needed to. I had a 1% chance of the ship just breaking apart while it was in hyperspace, and it starts to shatter while it's in hyperspace. And my force user decides like, you know what? I fuck it. I'm going to force grip the entire ship and try to hold it together until we get out of hyperspace. And I'm like, okay, all right, you willing to try it? And he did it. Nat 20 after Nat 20 to hold that thing together. When they landed, they basically mesh taped it all around to hold it together. They had this ship held together with duct tape.
Oh boy, duct tape. It always works.
With Star Wars duct tape, so it is made for that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
all right.
they have this material in Star Shutter Universe. They call it vac foam. This is designed. It's designed to fill in like cracks in the hull and keep the hull quote unquote duct tape together until you can make like proper repairs. And of course, like all things in Star Shutter, it can be used as a weapon. You can throw grenades with or like a bigger containers with vac foam, and it immediately expands. And I mean, you can be trapped in like a especially if it's in 0G.
Right.
It's like expands exponentially in all directions. And if your suit has like an activated gravity field, or the hull under you is like its hull plating is more, it's like it's been modified to emit repelling gravity or attracting gravity. It's like that simple thing which is used as an insulator and to fix cracks,
Right.
it can become quite devastating.
That sounds great, actually. Yeah.
And they have to, in most cases, like you, the boarding operations, especially when you're fighting against like a well crewed military vessel or a pirate ship.
Mm-hmm.
First, you have to fight a battle for hull superiority, meaning you have to land on the hull.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fight them on the hull, and then make your way inside, either through demolition charges or like conquering one of their airlocks, because no one would like to just yeah, I'll just open the airlock and just let them in. It's like, no, it's you have to be really stupid to.
Right. Right.
And of course they have like turrets, and in some of the bigger ships they even have like pillboxes
Mm-hmm.
built in the armor plating of like the interlocking armor plates of the ship,
Yeah.
because it's like, why not do it? It's like, this is just a piece of armor. Why not just make a small tiny pillbox? It doesn't have to have like anything in it. It's just like a piece of metal
Yeah.
which the soldiers can use for cover and defend the ship.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think we uh
Yeah. It is about that time.
yeah, yeah.
But it was good talking to you, man. I'd love to continue this conversation sometime,
So
for
yeah.
sure. Like, I've been working all day, and uh, yeah, it's about to get to me. But yeah, definitely, definitely like to continue this sometime. Because talking to another DM is cool. Talking to another writer is cool. I don't get to do that very often. Uh, Most of the time, I'm the forever DM, so I don't really get to play anymore. I DM all the
Yeah.
time.
Same here. I
I
kind of.
Yeah, and so I like talking shop with another DM for sure, because you never can tell what you can steal from somebody. That
Mhm.
to use in D&D. That's
Of course.
like, hey, I like that idea. I might use that. You
Well,
might see,
it's
you know.
it's not stealing when you kind of adapt it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we all steal stuff from everything. We adapt from everything. Let's say that it don't matter. Like, my favorite game of all time, it has to be like World of Darkness, like Vampire the Masquerade, and all them. Like, one of my favorite games. But I love L5R, and this is a samurai game. I don't know if you've ever played it or not, but
I,
it,
I don't think I did, by the way.
okay. So, well, basically the meta plot for Legend of the Five Rings is that it's basically a fictional Japan, in the feudal era, but basically the entire meta plot was created because of a card game. The card game, the winners at these tournaments created the story for the books. It's very interesting, but like full backstory to it, like how it came about. But basically, it's the most lethal game I have ever played in. Like, one hit, you can die from one hit. Doesn't matter what level you are. If and it can be like a level 1 character taking out a level 5 character. Because 5 is the highest rank in the game. Most people don't ever see rank 5, but a level 1 character can take out a level 5 character with a single hit if the rolls are right.
Hmm.
just the level 5 character has way more skill, than the way more skills they can use than the level 1 character. But as far as just sheer survivability of it, like if you're in a duel, then they can one shot kill you. They can kill you with a singles, because it's fully designed to either be like the old Kurosawa films, where you do the quick samurai swap and enemy's dead, or
because they did it in real life.
Yeah. Or it's designed to be more you can sword fight, you can clash swords and stuff like that too, but usually it's all done with one quick swipe either way when somebody decides to do that. But it's like I remember the first game I ever played in, like I survived the longest out of the entire party with my original character, and then I got taken out by it was a Hair Clan. That's what they were called, the Hair Clan, because all the clans are based on an animal normally of some kind, even fictional ones. But and I was a unicorn clan. I was not a duelist. I could fight armies by myself, but I could not duel to save my life. And I got into a duel with this guy, and he crippled my character for life. Completely retired my character in one hit. He didn't kill him, but he retired him. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Up until then, I'd had good luck, and everybody else. In my games, the Unicorn Clan are 100%. Well, they 100% believe that the Dragon Clan are cursed because of how many Dragon Clan members he saw die. In that little short time, he is just they are completely they are cursed. They don't make sense. I don't like them. Your horses will die around them. Stay away from them. So I've kept that from the original game that I played in into every game that I've ran with it, is that the Unicorn Clans just think that the dragons are cursed.
Yeah. Well, nice talking to you.
Yes, you too, man.
Get some sleep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Have a good one. And you want to chill yourself before we close out here?
Well,
Laura posted your link there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the author of the Starshatter series. I have 7 out of 10 books published, plus an anthology, which is a collection of short stories set in the same universe, and a brand new Conan-esque novella. It's titled The Rifle Song, which is my flagship sword and railgun book. And you can find my books on Amazon, both in Kindle and paperback.
All right. And to everybody out there, become ungovernable.
Yep.